The question is, what is the best way to keep a customer that seems to want to let you go for price or because they're wanting to do it themselves? Is there certain things that I could say to keep my clients as I do a fantastic job? I'm 20 years old and I live in Australia. I own my business, and there seems to be a lot of clients that do not like a young guy maintaining their properties. So my first impression wouldn't be that there are a lot of people that would be bothered by having a younger person maintain their property. I suppose I could be wrong on that. But I think there could be a perception that if you're younger, you may not be as professional. I mean, clearly you have advantages as you build a bigger business because there's a perception of, well, because you have a lot of trucks, you do a lot of marketing, people see you. I wouldn't call it building a brand, but you're sort of in a way building a little bit of a brand. There's at least maybe a little bit of brand recognition. There's probably a perception that you're more professional and therefore you'll show up and that you have insurance and things of that sort. So, you do probably battle a few challenges there. So at 20 years old, though, you can start to put in place the elements within the business that make you look like a bigger business and make you look like a professional business. And so I totally think that can be overcome. And so I don't see that one to be such a problem. So if that's a concern to you, make sure you're looking at this from your client's perspective and what are they seeing? Are they seeing a very professional website? Are they seeing professional trucks? Do you handle yourself very professionally? Do you dress in clean clothes when you're dealing with the clients? Are your invoices professional? Is everything that you're doing look like a more professional established business? You don't have to fake it and go over the top, but does everything you're doing and communicating and the way you speak look professional? And I don't think 20 years old is a problem for you if you're doing those things. It doesn't matter if you're 20, 40, or 60. If you're not doing those things, you're going to have all the same problems. And I'm not insinuating that you're making a mistake in any of those areas, but it's definitely something to think about. Generally, when you're 20 years old and you're learning business and you're kind of bootstrapping your business, you probably are doing some things a little different than you will be doing in 5 years when the business matures a bit more. So just think about it from the client's perspective and think about the other companies that they hire. What are they doing that the client might appreciate? And make sure you're mimicking those things. So if a client wants to cancel and do it themselves, if there's a money issue, it's very difficult to overcome that. If they simply do not have the money, you're going to have a very hard time overcoming that. If they want to maintain it themselves because something in their life has changed, they have a kid at home that they want to teach now how to be responsible, or they have a kid that wants to do the lawn to earn some extra money, or maybe that's something that they enjoy and there was a period in time when they traveled a lot for work and now they're not traveling as much and they can take the mowing or maintenance over, well, that's very hard to overcome. And more often than not, what you'll see with a lot of individuals like that is that they might let you go because something has changed in their life, or they think they would like to mow, or they think they'd like to maintain the property or trim the shrubs. And then when it starts to get hot, that motivation slips, or the kid in their family that was going to mow the lawn, he starts to fizzle out and it's not happening. So of course you can try and should try to keep the work, and you should try to get to the root cause of exactly why they're canceling, because a lot of homeowners do not give the real reason why they're canceling. And then the other side of that is that once you get to the root cause, if it makes sense and they are canceling for good reason, as I alluded to, a lot will eventually no longer want to mow the lawn. The kid, the teenager in the family mowing the lawn will, as I said, fizzle out. And so once you lose the client, need to stay on top of the client. Somehow stay in front of them. If that's email marketing, where every week or every 2 weeks or once a month, I'd probably say at least every 2 weeks minimum, you're somehow in front of that client. and I won't go into details on what you can do, but just you're staying in front of them, maybe you're mailing to them periodically. If you're in front of them, when something in their life changes again and they're ready to hire a service again, you want to be the first one that they think of and they come back to you. So in some cases you can't keep them, but you can put yourself in a position to get them back later.